I've roasted the shit out of this game plenty of times in my other videos, but I've never actually sat down and given a full review on why I don't play the game anymore after putting in almost 200 hours. But bro, like even the most devout New World players can put their dicks away for a second and admit that the game has plenty of faults. Before we get into the video, make sure to like and subscribe and check out my review on Guild Wars 2 that I did recently, where I cover the game in the same format and breakdown as this video. Now, I break these full MMO reviews into 4 separate parts that I feel like are what keeps a game interesting to me: the combat, the story, the PvP, and the loot. The combat in this game is the one thing that kept my attention the longest. It used to be fun and it used to be fluid, but with the most recent patches, wars and PvP have become literally unplayable for many players. The lag, the rubber banding, the potion glitches where they won't consume when you use them, and the weapon switch nerfing has destroyed one of the most fun aspects of this game. Amazon Game Studios hasn't released an update on this and says they won't address it until about February 2022, probably because they're fixing things that were wrecked from their last update. So if combat is important to you, I'd say probably wait it out until they get this fixed. New World story is completely unoriginal, but being an MMO, I try to look past that every single one of them out there are about the end of the world. So since there's virtually nothing interesting about the story, let's look at the quests. Amazon has taken to adding some variety to the go here and do this then come back style quests that they themselves have come up with and that no other game has ever done before, but I mean, what can you expect? Delivery missions is what Amazon's all about anyways. The PvP quests, however, can be fun with a large group when you're trying to survive to get to the next objective if there's an enemy group in the area also doing the same quest. And I have to admit that this game shines from player interactions. It's toxic at best, but finding a company that's hell-bent on full map domination can be a fun experience. I'd say the main thing that made me stick around for so long was the interaction with the players I met and the bullshit we got ourselves into causing trouble in enemy company territories. Also, the grind to 60 is one of the worst MMO experiences I've had in a game to date. After level 30, the game goes from at least interesting to a chore very quickly, and really only people with about 3 or 4 brain cells can get all the way to 60. I'm sitting at about 2 brain cells, so I didn't realize I was being time gated until it was too late. I covered a bit of my opinion on PvP earlier, but I'll get more in depth. Amazon had the right idea with PvP when they put the game out. To be honest, I think the PvP is where they put the most work in, especially with their game modes. The wars, dueling, outpost rushes, and open world PvP / faction missions are where the game shines. Although the combat isn't the most ideal right now, this is where I spent most of my time when I used to play. I've mentioned before that PvP is the main draw in an MMO for me, and the system New World has is fun and solid with a good group. In the future, hopefully Amazon fixes the current issues with their combat. I'd say if PvP is also your main draw for a game, then I'd probably sit this one out for a while until they get all that straightened out. Another aspect of the game that was a hit was the crafting system. The economy in the game is entirely player run, and at first it was a bit weird not having an NPC to sell your gear to, but it's cool feeling like you're contributing something, unless you're a player in Europe, of course. There's lots of crafting materials you get in the game to make everything from weapons to armor and potions and bags, but holy shit does this game need some quality of life changes when it comes to crafting. Not being able to discard all the junk you made to quickly level your crafting needs to be fixed ASAP. The UI system, in my opinion, is well made and complements the inventory and crafting aspects, unless you're running. In conclusion, the game is an MMO made for player interaction and it's built to be run by players. It's in a rough state as most MMOs are in their first year, but I'm really hoping that Amazon can find its feet with this game because it felt like lightning in a bottle when it was first released. While Jeff Bezos was in space, the boys and girls over at Amazon Game Studios made a fun game, and it's one of the best looking MMOs that I've personally ever played. But with this being their first MMO, it definitely shows in too many aspects of the game. So, my opinion, I'd hold out if you haven't already bought it, but honestly, if you're playing it now and you're enjoying it, then hey, different strokes for different folks. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below what your impressions of New World are.